Interest rate raised, property price plunged. Has the market hit the bottom yet? How much are buyers benefiting from this? Hi, my name is Priscilla. I am a real estate broker in the Greater Toronto area. Today, let's take a look at the newest GTA June 2022 real estate market stats. As usual, we start by comparing the data from previous months and the months before that. On your left is June's market snapshot, and on your right is May's. So by comparing the two, you will be able to identify the month-to-month change. Then within the snapshot themselves, you can find the year-to-year change. So that is the white number under each of the 5 parameters. By the way, you can get all these stats from all the regions in GTA by sending an email to below address. All right, let's take a look at the average sold price across the whole GTA. For the month of June, the average sold price is 1.146 million, which is a 5.4% drop from May's 1.212 million, making it the largest month-over-month drop in average sold price so far this year. Till June, the average sold price dropped by about 14% since the peak of this year, which was 1.33 million recorded in February. Okay, back to the market snapshots. Along with the average sold price, transaction volume has also shrunk significantly. There were less than 6,500 properties sold in June, which is 40% less than June of last year, and roughly 10% less than May. Seems that buyers are holding their horses back and waiting for further price drop. On the other hand, not all sellers are in a hurry to sell their property, particularly the ones who purchased the property long ago and the mortgage burden isn't too heavy. This leads to an inactive market. Despite this downturn, not many sellers are panicking selling. So far, no sign shows that they are trying to get rid of their properties as soon as possible. We can see that in the number of new listings. In June, there were about 16,000 new properties that entered the market, almost identical to last June. The same is true for May's new listing data. This suggests that there are not many more sellers entering the market in panic. However, if we look at the active listing, you will see that even if the new listings remain at the same level, with properties just not being sold as quickly, we have a high inventory of 2.5 months. It essentially means that at the current rate of transaction, it will take the market 2.5 months to deplete the whole inventory if there are no new listings entering the market. This means that nowadays buyers have a lot more options to choose from, so they can really take their time to choose the good properties in a more reasonable price. Another sign of buyer's market is the days on market number. In June, it takes 15 days in average for a property to be sold, which is 2 days longer than same period last year and 3 days longer than last month. So I wouldn't say this is a very long period for days on market. However, we can see clearly where the trend is heading. So after seeing these stats, you're probably asking, then in that case, has the market hit the bottom yet? Is it the right price to buy? I think this is a question that if you ask 1,000 people, you will have 1,000 answers. What I can say is if you're considering selling or buying recently, try to gather as much information as possible and considering all the aspects, such as supply and demand, rising interest rate, and the number of newly entered new immigrants. In May's Market Watch report, I showed you the increasing inflow of new immigrants comparing with the past decades. I also showed you the relationship between interest rate and the property price. So if you wish to learn more, please watch that video after finishing this one. Today, I want to share with you two sets of data to show you how buyers are benefiting or suffering from the rising interest rate and property price drop. The red line here is the average sold price for detached homes in city of Vaughan. And then the blue line is the average sold price for condos in city of Toronto. Then the green bar, these are the prime interest rate starting from January this year till now in June. So Vaughan's detached homes averaged at 2.13 million at the beginning of this year, and then it peaked in February, then declined afterwards due to the interest rate rise. So until June, it came down to 1.75 million. But Toronto Condos, contrarily, showed much smaller fluctuation. As I explained in May's Market Watch video, this is mostly because during the pandemic, condos in densely populated areas such as downtown Toronto were not as popular as those bigger spaces in suburb areas such as detached homes and semi-detached townhouses. So everyone's working from home and the classes was hosted online. Shrank demand for Toronto downtown limited its price rise despite the historical lowest interest rate. Since they didn't raise much, the price didn't raise much, hence there's also not much room for decline right now either. So now let's talk about how much the buyers are really benefiting from this. Let's study together how the monthly mortgage payment has changed following the average sold price and prime interest rate change. This is important because monthly mortgage change has most direct impact to buyers, to a certain degree, even more so than the property price change, because after all, monthly payment has to be taken out from the buyer's pocket month after month. You can calculate your monthly mortgage payment by using the mortgage calculator on my website, priscillahanrealty.com, and then find it under mortgage. So with the calculator, you can calculate your monthly payment by keying your purchase price, your down payment percentage, your amortization period, and interest rate. So to speed things up, here are the monthly mortgage payment based on the changes in average sold price and the prime rate each month from the past 6 months of this year. The top line here are the mortgage payment for Vaughan detached houses, the red number here. And the blue ones are the monthly mortgage payment if you were to buy an average condo in Toronto. So if you bought a Vaughan detached homes in January, you will be looking at mortgage payment $7,600. But if you bought in June, if you really waited up and bought in June, then with the significant drop in price, you would be just paying $7,126. This is almost $500 every month mortgage drop, not to mention the drop also in down payment. But the situation is not the same if it's for Toronto condo. Since the Toronto condo price remained pretty much flat, so the spike in interest rate overpowers the change in price. So if you bought a Toronto condo in January, your monthly payment would be looking at $2,708. However, if you wait up and purchase one in June, then your monthly payment becomes $3,145. This is because the interest rate rise so much and the property price didn't drop. So when you talk about the interest rate rise is helping buyers because it lowers down the property price, you really shouldn't generalize because it has lots of things to do with many factors. It depends also on the area you are buying and also the property type you like. You also must remember the higher monthly mortgage resulted from higher interest rate is a true cost to buyer because the buyer needs to take out the cash from their pocket each month. Last but not least, the rising interest rate also push up the qualifying rate, which limits the buyer's borrowing power. So as a result, the buyer who waits might not be able to loan enough to go after their desirable house. This is the end of this video. If you find it helpful and want to learn more, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell button. See you in next video.